Hi there, I'm Jacob with HiView Solutions, a Google Cloud Premier partner. We work with companies using Google Cloud applications to provide licenses, technical services, support, and training. If you're currently using Google Apps at your company or are interested in making the move, please visit our website at hiviewsolutions.com for more information and take a look at our other videos on this channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about archiving an account into a centralized archive mailbox essentially. So it's migrating email, calendars, and Drive content into just a single destination account for archiving purposes. Let's dive into it, and we're gonna go to users. So you can access users here or from the left-hand side. And once you get to the user list, you'll go to the account you want to delete. That can be done in two different ways. So select the account, go to more options at the top, then delete the account, or simply hover over the account, go to options, more options here, and then delete user. So delete user, that is going to take us to the delete users page. In here, you are prompted with a warning message stating you cannot recover these emails after 20 days if you have not done so. And this is where you can transfer the data. So data in Gmail requires a manual step and two different steps actually. So anything for new incoming messages has to be set up as a forwarding for incoming messages. So you can do that by clicking on it and then setting up a default routing rule. This is going to let you set up a routing rule for essentially a catch-all address just for this account. Well, not a catch-all address, but just for this account. So we are going to say Mary at Central Coast co.com. I wish we had a shorter domain, but all right, so you get the idea. Mary, you specify the email address, full email address has to be in there. Then you head over to step number 2. If the envelope recipient matches the above, do the following, and we are going to go to envelope recipients. So what we're going to do next is just change this to Roger or whomever is going to take over any new incoming messages. So this is Roger in this case, our admin account. So that, or just replace username if it's the same domain, and then you can say Roger. So next is select the third option. So when is this going to take place? So perform this action on only non-recognized addresses or on non-recognized and recognized addresses. Right now, the account's still an existing account, so you might want to choose this one. And there's no harm on selecting that at the moment. And you can click Save. After you click Save, then the rule is created. And then any new incoming messages are routed over to Roger. So let's go back to the admin. So next step is just click on Migrate the user's existing email. That's going to take you to the data migration section, which you can find by going to the home page. Then here at the bottom, or depending on the size of your screen, that may be arranged differently, but it's here. Data migration, you're going to be taken there. If it hasn't been configured, let's just exit the migration for demo purposes. And we are gonna start from scratch. So if you start from scratch, we're just gonna click again on this. So that's the first page or step. Set up data migration up. Migration source is of course the same workspace account. So select Google Workspace, hit start, choose how long this should migrate the emails over. So if it's just all historical emails, try to go back as far back as possible, and you can take a look at what's the date, the creation date for this user account. So just select a date for this. We'll go back to 2020 and then select users. Migration options, I forgot. So migrate deleted email and all of those, you can still do that. Although you have to be careful because those messages in trash and spam are actually deleted after 30 days. So you just have to take that into consideration. Um, there's actually a glitch with this, I've noticed. So you have to refresh it, and that should just load the next page, which is the data migration um, list. And here's where you can start adding accounts. So you need to specify the source email. Source email is Mary's address. So, and you have to type it in. There's no autocomplete for this. So again, Central Coast. There you go. And then Mary's password. I might have it wrong, but this is just a demo. So, and then we choose the destination account, which in this case is just Roger. As you hit start, this is gonna just populate in this table, giving you the source email address, destination account, and then status. This is initializing, and eventually this is just gonna show the progress. If it doesn't fail, I think mine's gonna fail because I probably typed the password incorrectly here, but otherwise you'll get a nice progress bar stating how many items have been discovered and then how long this would take approximately. Not in time, but just percentage wise. And that's it. So you have to wait for this to complete. There is no notification that's sent out, so you have to check on this often or as often as you can. Um, but yeah, so as soon as this is completed, then you can go back to the admin console and essentially just restart the whole process. You are not gonna delete the account while you are performing the email migration. You have to wait. So just close this out and then come back when the email migration is completed. All right, so once the email migration is completed and you come back to this page, you can now transfer data from Drive and Calendar. There are a few other items that are transferred over, but are not as important as just Drive and Calendar events and Drive files. So by default, this is selected, so it's transfer, and then you have to choose the destination account. For consistency, you have to choose just the same destination. In your organization, you might want to create an account that's called archive or old emails or anything like that. That can be quickly found. So for us is now just the admin account. So Roger, we're gonna transfer Drive and Docs. We can include files that are not shared with anyone. So anything that's just private documents can be transferred over. And then calendars. We can also select the option that says also release all calendar resources booked in events organized by the user. So any resources, if your organization has resources such as printers, rooms maybe, or anything that can be booked along in a calendar event can be released. So that, and then you also have brand accounts and Looker Studio, which is optional. That's not part of the um, terms of services or supported services by the Google support team. So you can just delete the account. Once this is deleted, then you'll see a progress. And well, this account's actually on hold. So that's the thing you have to watch out for. If you have Google Vault, you have to make sure there are no litigation holds in place for this account. And that's actually here. So if you go to Vault, and then you go to matters. Um, take a look at holds. I'll have to search for this hold because I don't know where that is, but this account's actually on hold. So we're gonna have to do some digging and find out where the holds are or where that litigation hold is. Um, So for the purpose of this video, that should be it, but just be wary. You have to look out for any accounts that are on hold. If you know the hold is probably by an organizational unit, just move the account to a different org unit that's called offboarding or um, users to be deleted, anything that can be categorized as such. And that's it. That's for today's video. Stay tuned for more.